Have you ever noticed how the smallest habits quietly decide the direction of your entire life? Not the big goals, not the dramatic plans, just the tiny things you do when no one is watching. Because here's a strange truth. Your life doesn't collapse in one big moment. It slowly drifts, one undone habit at a time. And it can also rise the same way. This idea was powerfully shaped by William H. McRaven. But what matters isn't the person, it's the principle. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a young cadet standing in a harsh training ground. Cold wind, no comfort, no shortcuts. Every day feels like a test of limits. Not just physical, but mental. Now here's the surprising part. Out of all the brutal challenges, the day doesn't begin with something heroic. It begins with making a bed. Sounds almost ridiculous, right? Why would something so small matter in a place built for warriors? But that's where the lesson begins. Because when you make your bed properly, something subtle happens inside you. You've already completed one task. You've already proven to yourself, I can control something. And that small win, it starts a chain reaction. One task leads to another. Momentum builds. Your mind shifts from chaos to order. And if the day goes completely wrong, if everything falls apart, you still come back to a bed that you made. A reminder, I didn't lose everything today. Now think about your own life. How often do you start your day already feeling behind? Phone in hand, notifications, comparisons, pressure. Before you've even taken control, the world has already taken control of you. What if the problem isn't your lack of motivation, but the lack of small victories? Because discipline doesn't come from big speeches. It grows from tiny promises you keep to yourself. And most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they underestimate the power of the little things. Now let's go deeper. Picture this. You're surrounded by people who seem stronger, smarter, faster. You start doubting yourself. You think, maybe I don't belong here. But here's something nobody tells you. You don't rise by being perfect. You rise by refusing to quit when you feel imperfect. There will be days when you fail. Not slightly fail, completely mess up. You'll fall behind. You'll feel embarrassed. You'll question everything. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process that shapes you. Think about a time when something didn't go your way. Maybe you studied hard but didn't get the result. Maybe you trusted someone and they disappointed you. Maybe you started something but couldn't stay consistent. In that moment, what did you tell yourself? Maybe I'm not good enough. That's where most people lose. Not in the failure itself, but in the meaning they attach to it. Because failure doesn't say, you're not capable. It says, you're being trained. The strongest people you see today, they've been through more failures than you can imagine. They just didn't stop. And that's the second truth. You don't need to be extraordinary, you need to be relentless. Now let's talk about something even harder. People. You can be disciplined, focused, driven. But life isn't a solo journey. There will be people who support you, and there will be people who drain you. There will be moments when you feel like you're carrying everything alone. But here's the reality. You are never truly alone in your struggles. Everyone around you is fighting something you can't see. The strongest teams aren't made of perfect individuals. They're made of people who show up for each other, especially when things get tough. So ask yourself, are you someone people can rely on? Because success isn't just about how far you go, it's about how many people trust you to walk with them. Now imagine this. You're pushed beyond your limits. Your body is tired, your mind is screaming to quit. Everything inside you is saying, enough. And yet, you take one more step. That step changes something. Because the moment you push past what you thought was your limit, you discover a new limit, and then another, and another. This is how growth actually happens. Not in comfort, not in motivation, but in discomfort. That's why easy lives rarely create strong people. And strong people don't wait for life to get easier. They become stronger instead. Now here's a moment most people avoid talking about. What happens when life hits you hard? Not a small setback, but something that shakes you completely. A loss, a failure, a moment where everything feels uncertain. You feel like you're drowning, and here's the instinct most people have. Panic. Overthink. Give up. But what if the key isn't to escape the chaos, but to stay calm inside it? Imagine being underwater. If you panic, you lose energy faster, you sink. But if you stay calm, you find a rhythm. You survive. Life works the same way. When things go wrong, your mind will try to create fear. What if I fail? What if I can't handle this? What if everything falls apart? But those thoughts don't solve anything. Calm does. Clarity does. Because when you stay composed, you make better decisions. And better decisions change outcomes. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like the world is judging you? Like people are watching your every move, waiting for you to mess up? Here's a secret. Most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to focus on yours. And the ones who do judge, they don't define you. Your actions do. So instead of trying to impress everyone, focus on becoming someone you respect. Because at the end of the day, you don't live with their opinions, you live with your choices. Now, here's where everything connects. Small habits, failure, discipline, teamwork, resilience. They're not separate lessons, they're pieces of the same puzzle. They shape one thing, your character. And character is what decides your life when everything else becomes uncertain. When motivation disappears, character remains. When plans fail, character adapts. When fear rises, character stands. So the question isn't, can you achieve success? The real question is, can you become the kind of person who handles success and failure? Because life will test you, not once, not twice, again and again. And every time you'll have a choice to quit, or to continue, to blame, or to grow, to stay comfortable, or to step into discomfort. And those choices, repeated daily, become your destiny. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't look for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start small. Do one thing right, then another, then another. And when the day gets hard, remember, you've already proven to yourself you can begin. And sometimes, that's all you need to win. Because greatness isn't built in one big moment. It's built quietly. In the decisions no one sees, in the habits no one celebrates, in the discipline no one applauds. Until one day, the world calls it success. But you'll know the truth. It all started with something small.